Everything you've ever known will die. Not just you, not just Earth, not just the solar system. Every star, every galaxy, every atom of everything that has ever existed. The universe itself is going to end. And the terrifying part? Scientists actually know how. Not one way, two ways. And they couldn't be more different from each other. One ends everything in fire. One ends everything in silence, so cold it makes death look warm. So which one is it going to be? Let's find out. First, let's get one thing straight. The universe isn't just sitting still. It's moving. It's expanding. Right now. Every second. Galaxies are flying away from each other like dots on a balloon being inflated. Edwin Hubble figured this out in 1929. He noticed that distant galaxies weren't just moving. They were accelerating, getting faster. That one discovery changed everything we thought we knew about the fate of the universe. Because if everything is expanding, the question becomes, does it ever stop? And the answer to that question is literally the difference between two of the most mind-bending endings science has ever imagined. Let's start with the one scientists currently believe is most likely: the Big Freeze. Sounds calm, right? It's not. It's arguably the most terrifying ending possible. Here's how it works. Right now, the universe is expanding, and that expansion is speeding up. There's this invisible force driving it called dark energy. We don't fully understand it, but it's real, and it's winning. As the universe keeps expanding, galaxies get farther and farther apart. Stars burn out. New stars stop forming because the gas clouds needed to make them get to spread out, to thin, to cold. One by one, every star in existence switches off. The universe goes dark. But it doesn't stop there. Black holes, which were the last powerful things left, start losing energy too. Slowly, painfully slowly, through a process called Hawking radiation, named after Stephen Hawking, who theorized that black holes actually leak tiny amounts of energy over incomprehensible timescales. Eventually, even the black holes evaporate. And what's left? Nothing. A universe so cold, so spread out, so empty, that not a single reaction can happen anywhere. No light, no heat, no movement. Scientists call this state maximum entropy. Everything is perfectly, permanently, uselessly equal. There's a word for it: heat death, not hot. The opposite, a universe frozen in absolute silence at nearly minus 273 degrees Celsius. Absolute zero, the coldest anything can ever get. And here's the number that makes this real. This doesn't happen for something like 10 to the power of 100 years. That's a 1 followed by 100 zeros. Our universe is only 13.8 billion years old. We are practically newborns compared to what's coming. Now let's flip everything. What if dark energy isn't infinite? What if it weakens? What if gravity wins? That's the big crunch. And this one doesn't end in silence. It ends in total annihilation. Here's the scenario. Everything in the universe has gravity. Every galaxy, every star, every grain of matter is pulling on everything else. Right now, dark energy is overpowering gravity. That's why everything is flying apart. But some physicists have theorized, what if that changes? What if dark energy fades and gravity slowly starts pulling everything back together? Galaxies stop moving apart. They slow down. They pause. And then they start falling back toward each other. Slowly at first, like a ball thrown in the air before it comes back down. But then faster and faster. Galaxies begin merging. Temperatures start rising. The night sky fills with stars, billions of them crashing together. The background radiation of the universe, that faint cosmic glow left over from the Big Bang, gets hotter and hotter. Everything is compressing, tightening, being pulled into one impossibly dense point. And then, in a moment that mirrors the Big Bang itself, everything that exists gets crushed back into a singularity, a point with infinite density, infinite temperature, and it ends. Or does it? Some physicists believe that the Big Crunch could actually trigger another Big Bang, a new universe, born from the death of ours. They call it the Big Bounce, a universe that expands, collapses, and then explodes again in an endless cycle. We could be living inside a universe that has already died and been reborn countless times, and we'd never know. Here's where it gets really weird. We've been talking about two endings, But there's a third possibility that most people have never heard of. The Big Rip. Remember dark energy, that force pushing the universe apart? What if it doesn't stay constant? What if it gets stronger? Not just expanding galaxies, but eventually ripping galaxies apart. Then solar systems. Then planets. Then atoms. There's a calculation physicists ran. If dark energy keeps intensifying, the universe could be torn apart at the subatomic level in as little as 20 billion years from now. That means atoms, the building blocks of literally everything, get shredded by the expansion of space itself. Not frozen, not crushed. Torn down to the last particle. And here's the uncomfortable truth. We don't actually know which of these endings is coming, because we don't fully understand dark energy. And dark energy makes up roughly 68% of everything in the universe. We are trying to predict the fate of the cosmos when we don't understand the majority of what the cosmos is. That's not a failure of science. That's science being brutally honest. Now you might be thinking, okay, but none of this matters for billions of years. Why should I care? Fair question. Here's why it matters right now. The fact that we, tiny, fragile, 80-year lifespan creatures on a pale blue dot, have figured out that the universe has an ending is extraordinary. We looked up at the night sky, built telescopes, ran equations, and reverse engineered the fate of reality itself. No other species on Earth has done that. Possibly no other species in the universe. We are the universe becoming conscious of itself, studying itself, understanding its own ending. And maybe that's the point. Not to stop it. We can't. But to know it. To look at something infinite and terrifying and beautiful and say, we figured you out. So here's where we land. The Big Freeze says the universe dies in silence, cold, empty, and alone. The Big Crunch says it dies in fire, compressed back into the dot it started from. The Big Rip says space itself tears reality apart, piece by piece. And we, right now, are somewhere in the first chapter of this story. 13.8 billion years in. Possibly trillions more to go. The universe is dying. It always has been. But it's doing it slowly enough that right now, in this moment, stars are being born. Galaxies are dancing. And somewhere on a small planet around an ordinary star, a species is asking the biggest question it's ever dared to ask. How does it all end? And the most human thing about that question is that we refuse to stop looking for the answer.